All right, welcome in. Cube Show Podcast, college football podcast, usually coming to you on Sundays. Hoping to get back to that next week, but last couple of episodes have done well, so we wanted to let them run just a little bit. And we appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Going to stick with the top 5 list this week and to go with another position group across the Southeastern Conference. Now, we've seen the comments. Some of you haven't liked them. Some of you have been mad. Some of you have been okay. Get ready for this one because you're probably really going to be pissed off at the end of this episode. Sorry. It's just what I think, what I see, what I've watched on film, and what I believe it's going to be this year. So keep the comments coming at Cube Show on Twitter, at Cube Show on Instagram. Love keeping up with all you guys there. Please hit that subscribe button if you're watching right now on YouTube or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Let's roll right into it. Before we do, you guys know each and every week brought to you by Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious. We have them. We love them. We snack on them. They are amazing. You need to go grab some. If they don't have them in your grocery store, ask them why. And then find a snack that you can have that contains Wickles Pickles because they are delicious. All right. Appreciate Wickles Pickles for sponsoring the show. Please take care of them. They take care of us. Top 5 wide receiver rooms in the Southeastern Conference. This one is going to have people going back and forth, going to have people upset. And I get it. I understand. This is similar to the defensive lines. We know wide receiver has been a strength of the SEC for multiple years now. And we know it's really kind of a strength of college football because it's become so important in so many offenses. You just can't make a lot of these quarterbacks go, offenses go without great receivers. People are paying a premium for them. They want to go out and get them. They're recruiting them harder. They're adding more to their roster, finding different ways to get them the football. I think that's one of the reasons you've seen it become so important. So I'll go with my top 5 groups. You let me know who yours are, and it's okay if we disagree. I'm not mad at you if you don't have who I have number 1 or who I have number 5 or in my top 5. And I don't really give a damn what an internet site has ranked ahead of me, before me, after me, or instead of me, because I don't use numerical grades for what I do. I watch the film and I give you my opinion. That's all I got, folks. There is no math. There is no arithmetic. There is no sign language. There is no way that we put this into a computer and it spits out a formula and tell you who's who. We just watch what they do. That's it. All right. So I'm going to give you 4 that I like that didn't make the list. So you guys can go ahead and watch this and just get out then, I guess, if you're going to be upset about it. Number 1 is going to be Florida. I do think this is a talented group, has a chance to be a really good group. Lost a little bit of prowess from a season ago, but I'm not going to have Florida in my top 5. I think Lagway elevates the guys that he has around him and has a chance to do that again this year. I think the run game will be the emphasis with an offensive line that we like. Obviously, you saw that episode. A running back group that we like. You saw that episode. And this group might not be as needed as some of the others we're going to discuss. I just don't think they're going to be as deep as some of the groups we're going to discuss either. And that goes for Oklahoma as well. Listen, I had Deion Burks, one of my top 5 players in the SEC, one of my top 5 impact players. I think he has a chance to be a top 10 impact player in all of college football. He is a dynamo. Problem is they don't have a lot of depth. They don't have a lot of different type guys that are going to be on his level. If he stays healthy, he'll change the offense, just like John Mateer would be, who we had there as well. And just like maybe some of the running backs and offensive linemen can if they're all on the field together at the same time. Availability going to be huge for Deion Burks this year. Ole Miss, you bring in Deja Stribling from Oklahoma State, who I think is going to be solid. Harrison Wheeler from Penn State, another transfer. And then Caden Lee is great in the slot. I mean, he is a catch and run guy. He can get you over the top. I think he's fantastic, probably underrated top to bottom with all the other receivers in the SEC, mainly because of the offense. People are going to subtract the quality of guy at Ole Miss because they're going to say, oh, well, Lane just finds ways to get guys open. They're actually the ones out there doing it too. They deserve credit. Caden Lee's one of those guys. A little bit of a do-it-all wide receiver, not necessarily on the outside, but over the middle of the field, catch and run, getting you up top. I think he does it all. I just think adding so many new faces with another new quarterback, hard for me to imagine this is going to be a top 5 wide receiver group in the Southeastern Conference this year, but I do believe they're close. Next up will be Texas A&M. Kevin Concepcion is amazing. You watch this guy go play, which I don't think a lot of people have. You realize exactly what A&M is getting, a big-time, big boy wide receiver that can pretty much do it all. Terry Bussey, speedster, who you have to like, can do some different things close to the line of scrimmage. And I absolutely love Mario Craver. I loved him coming out of high school here in the state of Alabama. Loved him at Mississippi State. I think he'll be able to help the slot. He'll work the short intermediate game, and he's just as super solid as you can get inside, man. Like, not afraid of anything, catch and run, not a problem, super tough. Not the absolute burner that we're going to talk about with a few other receivers on this list, but he's going to help that group. So just outside the top 5, I would have Texas A&M right there knocking on the door. Number 5 is going to be Texas. There's going to be a little bit of projection in this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on high school guys because I don't know exactly what they're going to be able to come in and do, even though we have seen some true freshmen come in and have an impact in this college football game that we now love so much. Also, some of the guys we're going to mention did that. Wingo was one last year. Now, he had a crowded room, and then you add into the tight end room with Gunnar Helm and what Weiser and some of the backs did out of the backfield. There's so many footballs to go around, but 29 catches, 472 yards, 2 touchdowns. I just think physically he's a freak show. It's going to be his turn this year. I think he breaks out. I think down the field, short game, I think he is going to be the target that Sark in his motion-based matchup offense, remember that, is going to be the one that's on the move or look to at least find the best matchup more often, and he'll be able to take advantage of that. DeAndre Moore going to be back. Hasn't always been healthy. 39 for 456 last year, but I think he's another sort of move guy, do-it-all wide receiver that's as solid as they come. He just needs to be healthy to be able to help. And Emmett Mosley, I really liked watching his film at Stanford. I think we actually showed a couple clips from him a couple episodes back when we were talking about different transfers into the SEC. Big target down the field, nice red zone target. I think instead of trying to find multiple tight ends and a hybrid tight end, you now have Emmett Mosley, who you're going to be able to try and get singled up and take advantage of some things down the field. Big catch radius, not afraid to try to break tackles, not afraid to work the middle of the field, and does a pretty good job at his size of finding space, creating space, and being able to get open. So I have Texas at number 5. My top 5 wide receiver cores in the Southeastern Conference. LSU will come in at number 2. LSU has a lot to like, and they're a group that I debated putting higher. I just think the depth of a couple of other teams might be just a little bit more, and maybe the top end of a couple other players might be a little bit more. Nick Anderson, 38 for 70, 98, and 10 touchdowns at Oklahoma a couple of years ago. Now, he's dinged up last year, so again, he has to be healthy if he's going to contribute. But he's a guy that can be a big play machine when he's on the field, when he's healthy. Oklahoma had big plans for him a year ago and obviously just couldn't stay on the field. Barryon Brown comes in from Oklahoma. He is a deep threat. He is a big play waiting to happen. The problem is there is serious problems with the consistency in his hands. And if you're playing wide receiver, I need you to catch the football. Job number 1. And at times, Barryon Brown didn't do this. The whole Kentucky wide receiver core the last couple of years has had issues with this. But Barryon Brown can be someone who stretches the field. He can be someone that takes advantage of teams deep. He can be a guy that gets that go ball and can hit home runs. It just, the consistency with the hands has to come around. And it's a real concern because it has been for quite some time. It doesn't just change because you're in a different uniform. Aaron Anderson, you have to love. Probably one of the best pound-for-pound football players in the Southeastern Conference. Big-time catch-and-run guy. Intermediate stuff, not a problem. Put him in the slot. He'll catch a screen. He can take it the distance. Not afraid to work down the field either. I think he's vastly underrated. Somebody that needs to be talked about more as we head into SEC Media Days, and a guy that's going to help LSU be successful. Chris Hilton's just got to time the jumps a little bit better down the field. Speedster that the coaching staff has liked for a while. I think he can help. And I've loved Xavier Thomas in the SEC the last couple of years at LSU and at Mississippi State. He was kind of a do-it-all, I guess, utility player at Mississippi State. Didn't get as many of the opportunities at LSU, but I think he's a guy that can catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Catch and run's not a problem. He's a pretty good route runner. Here's my issue with LSU is a lot of the same guy, a lot of the same body type, and then you have injury and consistency concerns with a couple of these guys, whether it's timing jumps, hands, staying healthy. All of those things are not going to allow me to put LSU up another notch. But I think this is definitely going to be one of the better wide receiver cores in the Southeastern Conference when you just look at the talent, the productivity that they've had, and maybe the ceilings that have not been reached for this group. And you got Nussmeier delivering the football, so the offensive line's right. You got a chance to be humming. All right, guys, don't forget about Game Day Men's Health. If you are feeling on edge, if you're lacking sleep, if you don't have energy, Game Day Men's Health can help you. Not even that, really. If you're just looking for anti-aging, if you're looking for better gut health, if you're looking for better skin care, there are now peptides in stock that Game Day Men's Health can help you out with. Here's what you do. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be here in Birmingham with me. You can be anywhere. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. See where the nearest location is. Sign up for the free consultation today. You're going to get a free PSA test, free testosterone test. You're going to walk in the door, and they're going to give you all that and tell you where your baseline health is. And then they're going to offer up different ways that they can help you feel better, be better on a very regular basis. They've helped me with a few things. They can help you with some things as well. Go in there today and tell them you heard about them right here on Cube Show. Again, it's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. whether it's hair care, anti-aging, better sleep, losing weight. They can help you with all of that. Multiple weight loss programs they have at Game Day Men's Health. They want to help you be your best you. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Sign up for that free consultation today. Georgia is going to come in at number 3. The room is stacked. And I love some of the additions for very specific reasons. It's one of the things Kirby's been good at for quite some time is we need someone who does this extremely well. Go get that guy. Dylan Bell needs to be talked about more. Similar to Aaron Anderson, I think he's one of the best football players in the SEC. Dylan Bell kind of reminds me a little bit, and I'm not making the direct comp because, listen, I grew up a Steelers fan, and he's probably my favorite Steelers offensive player of all time. Dylan Bell kind of reminds you of Hines Ward a little bit. Like if you needed to line the guy up at quarterback because you had a couple of injuries, he could probably do it for you. He could be that guy. Running back, we've seen him do it. Slot receiver, sure. Down the field, he'll handle it. Like the guy just does everything. He's a B+ all the way across the board, and he's going to help your football team in multiple ways. Not enough people talk about him for the quality football player that he is. Size, not his strength, but he does so many other things well. And I've seen him get after some guys in the blocking game also out on the perimeter. So he's not even afraid of that portion of his game. You also look at Colby Young, who you're going to need healthy, who 2 years ago at Miami, 47 catches, 563 yards, a bigger target that can hurt you down the field. And Kirby says, you know what? Let's go even bigger. Let's go get Noah Thomas from Texas A&M, who goes 6'6", 39 catches, 574, 8 touchdowns last year, 73 career catches. And now we got guys on both sides of the field that those safeties are going to have real problems with. But we have multiple players that can now hurt you over the middle of the field. We just mentioned with what you're going to be able to do with Dylan Bell. I think the secret weapon, because Zachariah Branch is going to get a ton of hype coming into the season. And I get it. He's a track guy that has super duper speed and he looks like the Flash. That's all wonderful. He's not a great wide receiver yet. Might turn into it, possibly, but we haven't seen that. Also, availability, a little bit of an issue. So the secret weapon to me here with 2 big bodies on the outside, a burner that people are going to have to be concerned about is Dylan Bell to an extent, but also, I mean, we'll talk about the tight ends with Georgia down the road. That's not for this episode, though. London Humphreys, who I questioned literally every single week last year. Where is this guy? Why is he not on the field? Why is he not getting targets? The kid can catch. The kid can run. He's a great route runner. He had some productivity at Vanderbilt, 37 for 682 in 2 years there. I think he's fast enough to be able to hang. I think there's some Ladd McConkey in him. And yes, he has high football IQ. He's a great route runner, no space, all of that. We get it, whatever. The kid's a good wide receiver, and I think he can help this offense. And when you take his skill set inside of everything else that Georgia's going to have, it could be a perfect fit to be able to take advantage of how defenses are going to be forced to play them. So London Humphreys, another one, not another people are talking about heading into this season that could help the Georgia Bulldogs be very successful on offense. And you got to admit, first-year starting quarterback, a couple guys that are going to be different on that offensive line, even though we love them. Is it all going to work out? Is it all going to be consistent? And are they going to be able to make it go with what the talent looks like it has a chance to be? Which is why there's 2 teams ahead of them. Obviously, you guys see me here supporting my friends at Roback each and every day. I'm going to have it on. Love my Roback gear. The hoodies are the best. The T-shirts are amazing. Now the collared shirts coming out too. Shorts, whether it's athletic shorts or dress shorts, you can get everything you need. Belts, hats. If you need the big bucket hat for the summer, you're going to be walking around playing golf or out on the fields, Roback's got you covered there as well. And now they have father-son matching shirts coming up for Father's Day at Roback. So go get a couple of those. And you can be just like your little man, or your little man can be just like you. Roback.com, promo code COLD20 and save 20%. That's right, COLD20, save 20% on your purchase at Roback because you heard them right here on Cube Show. Go get the best gear available, and it's from Roback. Number 2 is going to be Alabama. Listen, point blank, guys, we've gone through a lot of other people on this list, okay? Deion Burks is going to be fantastic, all right? We talked about Dylan Bell as a football player, what he's able to do. Kevin Concepcion is amazing. There's not many guys on this list that can do what Ryan Williams can do. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's a guy on this list that has the body control, the body balance, the football awareness that Ryan Williams does with the hands that he brings to the table. Now, you saw a little bit of a drop-off last year, maybe hit some of the freshman wall, but I expect a big season from him again this season. I expect him to be more on page with his quarterback. I think it'll be Ty Simpson this upcoming season, and you'll see even more productivity from Ryan Williams because now he's got protection. That protection comes in Jeremy Bernard, who was there last year, who is a bigger body wide receiver, sort of a safety net that came with Kalen DeBoer from Washington, 50 catches, 794 yards. Love Jeremy Bernard. Tough, physical, not afraid to do anything that coaching staff asks him to do, and he will do it. But now you go and have Jalen Hale coming off the bench, who has been there for the last couple of years, a little bit dinged up, that might be a legitimate deep threat for Alabama. We haven't seen a ton from him. 5 for 148 2 years ago. But if he is that guy that can help take the top off and then relieve some of the stress from Ryan Williams as far as the coverages that he sees, things could just get better. And you have a 6'4", 205-pound Isaiah Horton coming in from Miami, who had 56 catches, 616 yards, 5 touchdowns last year. I don't think it goes too much deeper than that. You know, Cole Adams, Rico Scott, maybe going to help just a little bit. But I do think on the front end, you have one player that's just flat different and does things that not a lot of other humans can do. Top 5 player in college football. So, yeah, he changes the group. He changes the room. I don't know how dynamic the rest of the room is going to be, but I know Bernard's going to be super solid. I know Horton can be super solid, and it feels like Hale could be a next guy in line to be able to take some of that stress off. And I also don't think you're going to be as heavy at tight end this year, and the offensive line might not pack as much punch as they did a season ago in the run game. So some of the intermediate passing game might be something that's needed and a little more necessary, and this group's leaned on just a little bit more. I'll go number 2 wide receiver group in the SEC with Alabama, which means number 1, drum roll, get your pissed off on. I get it. I understand where you're all going to go with this and you're all going to comment with this, but it's Auburn for me. And the main reason is depth, and the main reason is variety. They have every kind of wide receiver that you could want. Cam Coleman, I'm not ready to put all of the crowns on him just yet. I'm not ready to put him on the top shelf like a lot of people are just yet. I'm not saying he's a number 1 pick or a top 10 pick or going to lead the nation in receiving. Cam Coleman's got a shit ton of ability. There's no denying that. And he can go out there and win a one-on-one about just about anybody on any given day. Does he want to do it every day, though? That's what I need to see. Consistency's got to show up. Desire, will, want to has to show up on a more regular basis. If he wants it, he can go get it. I don't think there's any doubt about it. The big issue that I have with people who push back on Auburn's wide receiver core this year is y'all probably haven't watched Eric Singletary play football. And with everything that we said about Dylan Bell, about Deion Burks, about Aaron Anderson, Eric Singleton is that and then some. The guy has legitimate juice. The guy has legitimate hands. He has legitimate change of direction. He is a great route runner. He can destroy you down the field. He can take the ball in the backfield and find ways to turn it into explosive plays. Hugh Freeze is going to be able to move him. He's going to be able to line him up in different places. He's going to be able to get him high percentage throws, and he will take advantage of it because he is as dynamic as they come in college football. You just haven't seen him. This kid's big time, and you've got him to be able to mismatch, move around, do different things with to open up potential single coverage for Cam Coleman on the outside. And then you have somewhat, I'm not going to say overall proven commodities with a Malcolm Simmons and a Perry Thompson, but we've seen them play. We know what they're capable of. It just hasn't been an elongated body of work, but they're good college receivers, and they're going to be able to go out and get more targets this year with probably a better quarterback situation, probably better protection. And I don't know if the run game is just going to be better, but I think it has a chance to be more consistent than it was a season ago, with quarterback run being a little bit of a different option and a better offensive line, maybe not as talented as tailback. You know what? Not as talented as tailback. I'm fine saying that. Then you go get Horatio Fields, who's 6'3", 205 pounds from Wake Forest, 39 catches, 465 yards last year, who gives you another bigger body, who you can line up in different places, who's not afraid to work the middle of the field. I've seen his Wake Forest film, and I've seen him go do it. That gives your quarterback a little bit more of a safety net, a little bit of a safety valve, a guy he can bank on, rely on in shorter situations that you can attack Fields in different ways. Also, Bryce Cain's going to be there, a speedster who can line up, do different things from different places. The list just seems to go on and on. Now, I'm not just going to say Malcolm Simmons is better than the majority of the guys we mentioned, or Perry Thompson, or Bryce Cain is. Not even Horatio Fields, who, by the way, from what I understand, had an exceptional spring for Auburn. So, and has having an exceptional offseason for Auburn. You take all of those guys and you look at the depth that you're going to be provided with, that propels that group to being number 1. The ceiling that is there for Cam Coleman, what Eric Singletary is right now, and my understanding that he's come in and put even more work than anybody expected him to since he's arrived. This is the number 1 wide receiver group in the Southeastern Conference. I think it could push to be number 1 in the nation. I'm not going to label it that just yet because I think there's a couple others that are pretty close and maybe a small notch ahead. But for right now, we're going Auburn number 1 in the Southeastern Conference. I know you don't like it. I know you hate it.
Sorry.
Hey guys, one more thing that I wanted to tell you about and remind you about is pizza pulls. You've heard me talking about them before. Pizza pulls is where I'm going to be every Tuesday breaking cards. The Topps Midnight Football card is out now. This is absolutely beautiful. You got big time autographs. You got patch autograph cards you can go in there and get, limited cards, numbered cards. You also have a bunch of different baseball items that are coming out from Topps in the next few weeks. The 2024 Panini Select Football is out now, whether it's Pokemon, whether it's Live Golf and the Prism Live Golf that's out. Pizza Pull is going to be breaking all of it. Baseball, football, golf, Pokemon, all of that. And I'm at Pizza Pulls every Tuesday. You can go to Whatnot and find us there every Tuesday breaking football cards. Might get into some baseball here soon. But again, check me out with my friends at Pizza Pulls every Tuesday around 11 a.m. to get into a card break. Here's how it works quickly if you don't know. Some of these boxes of cards cost $500, $850, $2,000. You don't want to pay all that. Maybe you just want a couple of guys from the Yankees, a couple of guys from the Jets, a couple of guys that played at Auburn or Alabama or Texas or Georgia, and you want to chase those guys. Well, you can go buy just specifically that team. You can come in and get into an auction. Maybe that auction ends up being $8, $12, $15 instead of for $1,500 for the entire box of cards. You can do that at Pizza Pulls every single week. Go to pizzapulls.com or pick up your app right now, download the Whatnot app and see us there on Tuesdays. All right, so we got Auburn 1, Alabama 2, Georgia 3 with our wide receiver cores in the Southeastern Conference, LSU 4, Texas 5. And I will say this, A&M was close to getting in. Debated Ole Miss just a little bit and maybe putting them in. Oklahoma just didn't have the depth, and Florida was a little young without the depth to be able to get in. But this is a position of strength in the Southeastern Conference, which worries me about the secondaries, which we'll get to down the road, that I do not think overall are as strong as they've been in years past in the SEC. So those defensive lines that we mentioned that might be a little bit better than anticipated this year are going to have to be a lot better than a lot of people anticipate them to be. So these groups don't go out and take advantage of teams week in, week out. The other X factors that you could look at here, Auburn, new starting quarterback. Alabama, new starting quarterback. Georgia, new starting quarterback. Texas, technically, new starting quarterback. How does that play into all of these? We don't know. Marcel Reed played a little bit last year for A&M. If he's the guy, got some experience, but it's still a little bit of a new core. Ole Miss, new starting quarterback. Oklahoma, new starting quarterback. Some of that is a massive upgrade. Some might not work out the way that we anticipate. Either way, it's going to be a fun year to watch. This is a talented group, top to bottom. I think this league probably ahead of any other league at this position, and is going to make for a lot of explosive plays and a lot of dynamic football. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Please subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Support has been absolutely fantastic over the past few weeks. We're so glad you did it. And quickly before I run, want to say congratulations again to Josh and Savannah. Yes, you guys know Josh Pate. Was at his wedding over the weekend, had a great time, got to meet some great people from his hometown, got to meet some of her friends, her family, and it was just a really cool event, really special for them. I know her dad's proud looking down on her right now, and I'm proud of you both. I'm happy for you both, and it's going to be a long, happy life together. I think we can all say that comfortably right here on Cube Show. All right, we'll be back next week with probably another top 5 list. I don't know. Producer Jesse says I need more guests, so Jesse, maybe we'll go find a guest for next week and throw them in there to see if we can make the podcast a little bit better.